PBS's Weathered Earth's Extremes is an insightful docu-series that explores the issue of climate change and the communities that are seeing this most intensely. So joining me now is host of the docu-series, Maiya May. Maiya, how are you?
Doing good. I'm doing good. Very happy to talk with you guys. I'm very familiar with the area. I went to University of Missouri, so it's a pleasure to talk to you guys.
Okay, I love that little Missouri pride here. Yeah, that's amazing. So Maiya, why don't you just start by telling me a little bit more information on kind of what our viewers can expect from this docu-series?
Yeah. So essentially, Weather, like you said, is six-part series that explores climate change. The show breaks down the science and the complex concepts, and we really want to show viewers how their lives might be affected while also offering hope and tangible solutions. So I travel across the US, meet with scientists and community members who are on the front lines of climate change, and we really just want audiences to leave feeling more knowledgeable and empowered.
Yeah.
So it's a great series. I'm really proud of it.
Yeah, I hope, just by you saying that, I hope this is something that a lot of people are encouraged by, maybe rather than like scared of per se. But can you dive into a little bit more on why you think just like this topic is important to share in the way that it's being presented?
Yeah, I'm going to talk about one of our episodes that really gives this main one of the main aha moments of the series. So essentially, and this is episode 5. It's called "Not Business as Usual." So essentially, there are these different climate warming scenarios that are often referred to in popular media and scientific papers. And the worst scenario, as you may have heard, is referred to as business as usual. And this assumes that we don't do anything to solve climate change, and it paints a very dystopian future where humans can't survive on our planet. But the reality is, we're not really on that path. There are actually a lot of promising things that are happening right now in terms of our transition away from fossil fuels. And that's the main thing that's fueling climate change. And that transition away from fossil fuels to renewable energy like solar and wind is how we're going to solve the climate crisis. So we talk about tipping points a lot in the show. We start the series off talking about tipping points. We talk about the negative tipping points and the impacts, but we also talk about the positive tipping points. And that's kind of what I just painted a picture of.
Hmm.
And we're going to continue to experience this like exponential growth in renewable energy. Solar is getting cheap really fast. It's going to get to a point where even if you don't believe in climate change, even if you love fossil fuels, I don't know why you would, but renewable energy is just going to be so cheap that it wouldn't make sense to avoid investing in these energy sectors. So, you know, I think that's a very important point. When I realized that during filming of the show, I was like, wow, I get the climate doom and gloom, but there's also a lot of great things happening. I think this that it's important that we focus on that.
Yeah, and I mean, with all that being said, right, the most important thing is protecting our planet, and a lot of what you're saying will kind of help ensure that, or at least ensure a little bit more longevity of that. So, Maya, I'm curious too. You've talked about filming the show a little bit. What did you love most about hosting this, and why did you want to be a part of it?
Well, it's just great. I think my mission, not even I think, I know my mission is in this life is to tell these stories about nature. I love nature. I love our natural world. I started out in broadcast meteorology, but I decided to pursue this career of wanting to make nature documentaries and become the next David Attenborough, because I wanted to see more people who looked like me in natural spaces. That's what really inspired me. I grew up on a nature preserve, and I was just kind of tired of not seeing people again who look like me. And when I talk to my friends, they and tell them like, "Hey, I'm just gonna drive aimlessly and try to find a cool place to take pictures and videos of," they would look at me weird. I wanted to change that narrative, and I thought the best way that I could do that was to make nature documentaries. And so I started, and this just kind of, it really, everything in my career up until this point has kind of fell into my lap. So that's why I say that I really feel like I'm meant to tell these stories. And it really is a blessing to be a part of this project, because I think climate change is going to end up being one of the most important social issues of humanity.
Mm.
And it's really a privilege to be able to communicate the science behind this very increasingly important issue. And yeah, it's just been an amazing journey. And I can't wait for people to see the documentary.
Yeah, yeah. I love sharing that personal kind of tie on why, your why of doing this show. Because I do think when we think of this topic and these kinds of shows, we have a very singular profile of the type of people that we see doing this. So it is important to have people like you up there on the screen. My final question for you, just real quick, Maiya, what do you kind of hope the audiences take away aside from maybe some of the things that you've already said?
I think I'm just gonna like reiterate, what I've already said. I think the biggest takeaway that I want people to leave with after watching the series is that, like although climate change is serious, although it can be very scary at times, there's a lot to be hopeful about. One of the biggest themes that we talk about in the show is tipping points. And we really are on this path of positive tipping points. We are on this exponential growth path of tipping points that will help us solve the climate crisis, like electrification, like the adoption of renewable energy. So yeah, I just want people to feel hopeful, that we're on the right track, and that again, there's a lot that needs to be done, but at the same time, we're already doing a lot of great things. Yeah, there are a lot of smart people working on this topic, and there are a lot of great things happening.
Yeah, yeah. I love that. Okay, so Maiya, when does this show come out and how can people tune in?
So the show is available to stream on October 2nd on the PBS app. You can also watch it and stream it on PBS.com, and on our YouTube channel. But also check your local listings. You might see it on there as well. So it'll be
Okay.
available.
Perfect. Well, Maiya, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me and touching on this important issue. Viewers, tune in. This is an amazing show on an amazing topic. Thank you.